Thank you. So good morning, I'm Rima Cameron, and I'm your capable lay liturgist today. I share leadership of today's service with our guest, Rev Kathy Ellis, and our musicians, the Harrisburg Gay Men's Chorus. Whether you're a member or a visitor joining us in person or virtually, we are so happy you have chosen to join us this morning. For our worshipers online, a Zoom online coffee hour will follow the services starting at 11:30. For those here in person, we will have coffee hour in person in the common room downstairs. We are so happy you have chosen to join us today, and we welcome you to our fellowship hours and any other in-person or online activities held by UCH. In the spirit of the transformative power of community in all its forms, I'm so happy to welcome you to UCH. Whoever you are, wherever you live, whomever you love, whatever you do for a living, you are welcome at the Unitarian Church of Harrisburg.
Good morning. And adding on really to what Rima said in our call to worship, we invite you to bring all that you are to this community, your whole self, including your truth and your doubts, your fears and your dreams, your joy and your sorrow. Whoever you are welcome here. And yes, that means you. Whatever reason in your heart or buried in a small corner of your brain that you think you might not be welcome here, no, you are welcome here. And in our presence, may you seek meaning, speak your truth in love, share your truth, your gifts, and your love. We gather to renew connection with each other, and connection with the sacred, and to be reminded of the spirit of love. So together here, may we grow our spirits, and may we bring more love, joy, and peace and justice to our world, because it needs it. So come, let us worship together. Now, in Unitarian Universalist congregations, we light a chalice, which Rima will light, to celebrate our coming together in sacred community. I have a reading from Gordon McKeeman. Deep calls unto deep. Joy calls unto joy. Light calls unto light. Let the kindling of this flame rekindle in us the inner light of love, of peace, of hope. As one flame lights another, nor grows the less, we pledge ourselves to be bearers of the light wherever we are. And so we pledge with our unison affirmation.
And please join us in the reading of the unison affirmation, please. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is our gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Is it on? Okay. Please rise in body or in spirit and sing together our opening hymn, number 226, People Look East, in the gray hymnal.
The time is near.
Advent is the first season of the Christian liturgical year, and the word means coming or arrival. So for Christians, Advent is a season awaiting the birth of Jesus, the coming of Christ, or theologically, the coming of light and love to the world again. This season of darkness, of the shortest days of the year, is a time when many traditions wait for and celebrate the return of light. In Jewish tradition, a menorah is lit on the 8 days of Hanukkah as a reminder of the oil that should have run out, but the lamps kept burning. We have a menorah to remind us of our Jewish heritage, but we're not lighting it yet because Hanukkah doesn't start until the 18th. Pagans, at this time of year, light a Yule log to conquer the darkness, banish evil spirits, and bring luck for the coming year. Some thought that the Yule log actually enticed the sun to return. Hindus recently celebrated Diwali. Diwali is based on a lunar calendar, and so its timing isn't quite the same as our solstice celebrations, but it is also about the spiritual victory of light over darkness, good over evil, knowledge over ignorance. Many small candle lanterns are lit in homes and in communities, and many communities in this area now, you might have noticed a couple of weeks ago, had lots of fireworks. Fireworks is a very important part of the Diwali celebration. So, light and the darkness is an ancient and important symbol of this season. We have yearned in these dark times since ancient times for the return of love, of hope, of wholeness, of light. And so, here, we do light the Advent wreath. Last Sunday, we lit a candle for hope. Today, we also light the candle for peace and serenity. We'll do that as we read the piece that's in your order of service. The third candle is lit for love and the fourth for joy. This season can be a time to reflect on hope, faith, love, serenity, and joy. It's a lot. Some say Advent can be a season for the birth of our higher selves, but I say right now today that we light these candles and decorate this sanctuary because we need a little Christmas right now. Right this very minute. We have grown a little colder, grown a little older, grown a little sadder. We need a little Christmas right now. As Rima lights the calendar? We might want to light the calendar, but it could be more dangerous. As Rima lights the candles, please read the Advent lighting response with me in your order of service. We prepare for a new era of justice and reconciliation, free from violence and coercion. Peace is possible. We give thanks for those who witness for a world made whole with all her people one. We light candles for hope and peace. So may it be. Come on up, Corey.
So, good morning. My name is Corey, and I serve as your craft specialist today, otherwise known as your Director of Religious Exploration. So today, since it is the celebration of Christmas, we're going to make a few decorations. One is a wooden ornament, and these supplies are back there in the corner. What you'll find is a wooden disc with a hole in it, and there are wooden markers. Oh, thank you very much. You can call me Vanna. Vanna, yes. And the markers, and they are the shaker paint markers, so you're going to have to shake them, so we will have a little music as we are crafting, literally and crafty-wise. And then back here we have the Christmas tree, And these you will cut out and decorate to your heart's desire. And then we also have a chain, and Kathy will explain what we're going to be doing with the chains. I'll be walking around the tables if you need any help, and there will be music and words that will be shared.
Right. I need the mic again. Right, yes, words, which you know, it would be nice to listen to, but you definitely can be walking around and crafting. So the colored paper chain, and Corey made a demonstration chain, but there's also pieces. I want to invite you to write on a piece of paper or draw on that piece of paper a symbol or words that reflect your blessings, your wish, your hopes for this congregation and its people for this season and going into the new year. What do you hope for your people? So let's decorate with our hopes this morning. We lift up hope and peace. We also lift up beauty of all sorts in our decorating. Natural world beauty, musical beauty, created beauty. Beauty is before us. Beauty is all around us. And then may we see the beauty in each other.
And Kathy, we also have the table over here. Debbie, did you want to say a few words about it?
About the green.
Just we have some natural things, pine boughs and things that you can make decorations as well.
Okay, you can get up whenever you are ready.
And we're ready for our special music from our fabulous chorus.
Santa, I'm hoping you might share a copy of this Christmas recipe. So when the mood has melted, the flavor will remain to savor like a vintage memory.
And today's reading is by E. Cummings, Little Tree. Little tree, little silent Christmas tree. You are so little, you are more like a flower. Who found you in the green forest? And were you very sorry to come away? See, I will comfort you because you smell so sweetly. I will kiss your cool bark and hug you safe and tight, just as your mother would. Only don't be afraid. Look, the spangles that sleep all the year in the dark box, dreaming of being taken out and allowed to shine. The balls, the chains, red and gold, are fluffy threads. Put up your little arms, and I'll give them all to you to hold. Every finger shall have its ring, and there won't be a single place, dark or unhappy. Then when you're quite dressed, you'll stand in the window for everyone to see, and how they'll stare. Oh, but you'll be very proud. And my little sister and I will take hands, and looking up at our beautiful tree, we'll sing and dance, Noel, Noel.
Please join in the song, O Christmas Tree, which is not in the hymnal, but it is in the green insert in the order of service. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, how lovely are your branches. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, how lovely are your branches. Not only green in summer's heat, but also winter snow and sleet. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, how lovely are your branches. Oh, Christmas tree, of all the trees most lovely. Oh, Christmas tree, of all the trees most lovely. Each year you bring us dazzling white, with brightly shining Christmas light. Oh, Christmas tree, of all the trees most lovely. Oh, Christmas tree, we learn from all your beauty. Oh, Christmas tree, we learn from all your beauty. Your bright green leaves with festive cheer give hope and strength throughout the year. Oh, Christmas tree, we learn from all your beauty.
Thank you. So this morning, with all the moving around and doing things, we are not dropping stones or lighting candles, but I do have a couple of joys and sorrows that were sent in online. So Donna Hoover is in the hospital with one broken foot and the other sprained. Non-weight bearing for 6 to 8 weeks. Donna is hoping to be home tomorrow, and she probably would like to hear from you because she's not going anywhere. Jocelyn Voronoi sent that she is happily settling into Rochester and the First Universalist Church in Rochester, which is great. She misses you all and hope you are doing well. And Richard Gordon was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and has asked that you know this information. I don't have any more information than his diagnosis, so you will contact him by normal means, I guess. So we send prayers of hope and blessing to all. And we give thanks for our baby dancer dancing with the wonderful Harrisburg Men's Chorus. As a girl, I learned the word for the month before Christmas. Advent was the word for that month of most interminable and horrible childhood waiting. When the energy all around seemed to when is Santa coming and what are you going to get me? Yeah. My grandmother used to send us Advent calendars with little door to open for each day of the month that showed a picture. Nowadays, I see ones with little toys and chocolate, but my grandmother's just had a picture. I like that little ritual, but it didn't make the waiting any easier. It didn't make Christmas come any sooner. And in the old days, we had a daily newspaper delivered to our house, a paper newspaper every day. And in December, it had a block on the first page and somewhere on the bottom that said 30 days until Christmas or whatever. And more important to me, because I love to read, was it carried a serial story that somehow managed every day to have a cliffhanger. It didn't help me to wait any more patiently, however. The calendars, the countdown, and the stories, they helped me count the days and probably learn to understand the calendar and time. They did not make me a patient little girl. Like most families children whose families celebrate Christmas, I was eager for Christmas Day to come, and hopefully mostly about presents, cookies, and candy. I lived in a household where my mother believed in good nutrition and didn't think we should have cookies and candies and snack food all along, but Christmas was different. And we received also in the old days a giant paper Sears catalog. It was about this thick, and it had many, many pictures of longed for toys. Even if I'd never heard of them before, I soon could long for them. Still, and especially probably as I was an older child, I found that I was waiting for something else. Something that I could not have named now. And then, I'm not sure I can name it now, but I couldn't have named then. A time of quiet, a time of peace, time to appreciate beauty, the beauty of colored lights and Christmas trees, the beauty of snow, and the hard diamond sparkling of winter stars in a cold winter night. As a child, Advent felt hard because of all that impatient waiting and greediness. As an adult, I learned the spiritual and theological meanings for the season. But a few years ago, I learned another perspective about Advent from a Unitarian Universalist minister colleague that made so much sense to me that I've given variations of this sermon several times already. And that is that this season is really hard. In the changes because of the pandemic and everything being not quite the way they had been before, it's sort of forgotten about that. But what Patricia Hart taught just seemed to really accurately describe what I often experience in this month and what I witness other people experience. In fact, some of it I was just hearing in conversations before our worship service began. Tricia had learned about this perspective about Advent from when she managed a Waldorf school. Waldorf schools have anthroposophical teachers, and these teachers taught a metaphysical and esoteric explanation for why the season is hard. I'm not going to tell you about that today, but if you want to know more, I can tell you or send you in the right direction. What I want to tell you about is what Tricia told us. Here's some of her words. Advent is not just a season, it's a progression. And it doesn't get easier as we get on. We are left in a darkening world, feeling alone, vulnerable, stretched beyond our capacity, and with few reserves to, as she said, withstand the battering of the storm, and storms there are, internal and external. There are 4 weeks in Advent and 4 tests. Each week is sort of a separate test. First, the week we've just passed, is a physical test. With illness all around, our task is to stay upright and out of bed, and I tell you, my friends, I failed that task this week. I did. I had flu A. I know that because I eventually got seen at urgent care. The first time I went to urgent care, they had a big pink sign. We have too many patients, go away. Actually, it said that nicer than that. But I went away. And when I was seen, I said I had had that experience of going away, and they said, well, oh, and I said that thing my daughter said was, why didn't you go somewhere else? And well, I didn't, but they said it doesn't matter. Everywhere was like that. So it is a task that many of us experience in the world the first week with illness all around. The second week, what people experience often is exhaustion. And the task is to stay spiritually present and awake when we really just want to go to sleep for about at least a week. The third week, think about this. This is the week before Christmas. Think about, well, before the pandemic, possibly last year, about the third week before Christmas. We often find we are distracted by desires and confused. Why every year, even if you've gone shopping for Christmas presents throughout the year, do you suddenly feel like you don't have just the right present for your most favorite person, or just not enough presents, or the presents aren't equal enough, and you do. The sense of not having enough is often part of that third week. And this is the week when we might find we need more self-control. The fourth week is a test of consciousness, with too much coming at us, too much to think about. The temptation again is to just shut it all down and power through. But when you shut it down and power through, whatever it is, without consciousness, you lose connection. You lose connection with your people. You lose connection with life, with the spirit of life and love, with the sacred. So this description of the weeks and tasks, human stressors and reactions, actually fit my experience of this month over many years as I thought back about it. But we don't need to just stay with those stressors. There are things that we can do to treat this season as perhaps a more holy season. So listen again to what I just went through about the weeks. The first week is a physical test, coping with illness all around, which it certainly is this year. And we lit a candle for hope. Writer Anne Lamott says, hope begins in the dark, The stubborn hope that if you just show up and try to do the right thing, the dawn will come. You wait and watch and work. You don't give up. And we are not giving up. And we are enjoying beauty. The second week can manifest itself in exhaustion. I'm hoping myself to avoid that this week, but we'll see. We light a candle for serenity, for peace, and to be spiritually awake and aware. We can, if we allow ourselves, slow down, breathe deeply, and allow ourselves to pay attention to what in fact we value most deeply. And it usually isn't getting more stuff or baking more cookies. And pay attention to our ultimate concern, or to what some might call God. The third week is that week of being distracted and confused by desire. And in this week, for the Advent wreath, we light a candle for love. When we can give and receive love, when we are able to love ourselves, we are better able to deal with those extraneous desires. When you feel the love that is there for you, and don't feel so insecure of it, you're less likely to be distracted by those desires. And to know that the love that you give is not dependent on getting the exact right present for the exact person. And the last week, the fourth week of Advent, is a test of consciousness, the temptation again to shut down and not pay attention. And we light the candle on the Advent wreath for joy, for the coming of light and love. Now, we can only really experience this joy if we do, in fact, stay awake and pay attention to our connections to ourselves, to each other, and to what we find most sacred. What I learned about Advent, Reverend Hart said, is this feels hard because it is. Advent is a long, hard season, and it's supposed to be. The work for us is to resist the temptation to take it at a run and just get through it. The work of Advent is actually emptiness. Standing still, slowing down, preparing, being expectant for what we don't know will come in the new year. In the Christian words, let every heart prepare a room. Preparing means taking risks. The risk of standing up, eyes and ears open in the midst of pain. Beauty, hope, violence, vanity, tenderness are all present. We stand up in the midst of life. Being awake, aware, slowing down allows us to deepen our connections to what feeds the soul, the spirit, to strengthen our connections with each other. The work of Advent, Tricia Hart said, is emptying, cleaning out assumptions so we can stand in the place of not knowing and of being awake. So may we do it, friends. I have kind of a closing prayer for us in this Advent season. We are waiting. We are waiting for love to be born again. We are waiting for hope, for peace, for justice to arrive. We are waiting for a rebirth of both joy and justice in the human heart. We are waiting, but we are not only waiting. For while we wait, we work. We work to make love and hope and peace and justice and joy everyday realities in our lives and in the lives of all people everywhere. May it be so. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be. And in this time of rising overt anti-Semitism, let us honor our Jewish heritage and our members of Jewish background with joyful song.
Is it? Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, great. I'm going to be doing two Jewish songs, one before the offertory and one after or during the offertory. The first one is a child's song, and it has hand motions to go with it. I invite you all to join me in the hand motions, in the singing. You will catch on quickly because they're quite repetitive. I'll show you the hand motions while Lois is tuning her guitar. This is to the first song. So you tap your knees, you tap your hands, you cross your hands back and forth, you do a thumb, whatever you're, anyway. And finally you hit your elbows back and forth. So let's do it all together. I missed. It's easier when you got the music going. Okay, so it's. And it won't be that fast, but it goes fairly quickly. David, Melech Israel, Hai, Hai, Vekaya. 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 David, Melech Israel, Hai.
So the Unitarian Church of Harrisburg is, as always, a freely gathered church of free people. Their church is created, sustained, and supported by you. Each month, we share half of our Sunday plate with a local nonprofit organization. For the month of December, UCH will be sharing the plate with the YWCA's Violence Intervention and Prevention Program. The YWCA of Greater Harrisburg is dedicated to eliminating racism, empowering women, and promoting peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. For those who wish to contribute online, please see the email with a link for today's service or visit uchbg.org homepage for options for contributing. For those who are here in the sanctuary, the collection plates will be passed around by today's ushers. Your financial support and commitment matter. Please consider giving what you are able.
Hivenu shalom aleichem, Hivenu shalom aleichem, Hivenu shalom aleichem, Hivenu shalom, shalom, shalom aleichem, Hivenu shalom aleichem, Hivenu shalom aleichem, Hivenu shalom aleichem. Shalom, shalom, shalom aleichem. David. Thank you. David, Melech Israel, Hai, Hai, Vekaya. David, Melech the Hivenu Shalom is we bring peace unto you, so it's pretty appropriate for this service. And the other one is David, King of Israel, lives and endures.
Is it on? Okay. Please rise for our last hymn, which is Deck the Hall. Got to find the page first. Number 235 in the gray hymnal. Deck the hall with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, la 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 la. See the blazing Yule before us, la 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 la. Strike the harp and join the chorus, la 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 la. Follow me in merry measure, la 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 la. While I tell of Yuletide treasure, la la la. Cast away the old year passes, la 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 la. Hail the new year, lads and lasses, la la la. Sing we joyous all together, la la. Heedless of the wind and weather, la
Thank you. And by the way, I know that some of you have definitely donned your gay apparel. I thought my sermon was too long for the kind of service we had today, but apparently not. So I have some closing words for us from Mother Teresa. She said, "Don't think that love to be true has to be extraordinary. What is necessary is to continue to love. How does a lamp burn if it is not by the continuous feeding of oil? When there is no oil, there is no light, and the bridegroom will say, 'I do not know you.' Dear friends, what are our drops of oil? They are the small things from everyday life, the joy, the generosity, the little good things, the humility and the patience, a simple thought for someone else. Our way to be silent, to listen, to forgive, to speak, and to act. These are the real drops of oil that make our lamps burn vividly our whole life. Don't look for Jesus far away. He is not there. He is in you. Take care of your lamp, your oil drops of love, and you will see the sacred." So, my friends, our worship service is ended. The crafting is not. You may join friends for coffee hour or continue to make and decorate the sanctuary. But whatever you do, go out into the world and share your light, your love, and come back and tell us what you've done, and come back to be replenished with more oil drops of love. So may it be. Amen.